Well, we got some good news here. First, let me zoom this in. I want this date. June 23rd, 2019. And the House passed bills have ended up in the Senate graveyard, where they should have. See, that goes to show you there are some people in our government that does have common sense and uses it. Just like those Republicans in Oregon. You know, instead of having that stuff passed, which was totally way down to people with an increase of 22 cents a gallon gas, and then their heating bills go up 50%, they got the heck out of town so the vote could stall. And that's what we need, more of these people with some backbone, with some balls, if you will. Anyway, Mitch McConnell in the Senate, they stopped this stuff, and Pelosi's having a fit. I mean, because she's a progressive, just like the other progressives back in the 30s that ended up passing gun laws that were unconstitutional. But they got away with it because there were so many of them that they were able to get it passed. Your 1934 law, your 1938 law, all those firearm laws are done by these so-called Democratic progressives that are trying to chain the guns. They want you under their fingertips. And that's not how the Constitution was set up. The Constitution was set up so that we'd always have firearms to fight tyrants like this bitch. So 6 months after the newly elected Democratic majority was sworn into the House, progressive lawmakers are tackling many of their priorities through legislation. But you got to remember, they're not going by the Constitution. Anyway, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican, Kentucky, has boasted about the pattern, promising to be the Grim Reaper for progressive policies in the Senate if the GOP hangs on to the chambers of the next Congress. We are very proud of the work that we have done to send over to the Senate, where Mitch McConnell has said he is the Grim Reaper. Yep, all those priorities have stalled. So anyway, let me zoom this in just a minute, just a hair. This is the People's Act, stalled. The Equality Act. The Dreamer Act, you know, that's another amnesty thing, and they have passed 7 amnesties since 1985, and it doesn't stop. It's like gun control. It doesn't stop until you put these son of a bitches in their place. And then you got the Paycheck Fairness Act. Then you got the Bipartisan Background Check. It was introduced in early January, so on and so forth, and yeah, it would expand background checks on requirements on private sales, including those at gun show or the internet. But here's the thing. That is infringing upon your Second Amendment rights. Background check is just, they're putting money in their pocket, and it's none of their damn business who has a firearm and who doesn't. They do not have that choice. They are not God. I don't care if you're black and you go into a gun store, you are allowed to have a firearm. Period. I can remember in the very early 60s when my father and I went to a gun store. And some black guy came in and he was looking at some handguns, and he liked to go coon hunting at night and he wanted something light to carry. Well, the owner of the place didn't want to sell him a firearm. My dad told me, he says, wait a minute. He's an American. This is a public place. You're open for public business. You cannot deny somebody that, well, I can if I want to. My dad says, well, we're not doing business here, and we left. You can't do that. Everybody has a constitutional right to keep and bear arms. Here's the Climate Action Act, HR 9, dead on arrival. Yeah. Here's the one. Thank God they got some brains up there. It's HR 1585. The Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act. Now, they may call it that, but it's not reauthorizing because it's like a brand new bill, because they put stuff in there that even if you dated somebody, they could use that against you later on in life. I don't care if it's 100 years down the road. They could come back and say, oh, he tried to rape me. Oh. And all that is revenge. And thank God they saw through the paperwork and the bullshit and the smoke screens, and it's dead on arrival. But the sad thing here is, since the renewal of the Violence Against Women Act was introduced in March and passed in April, one Democrat voted against it while 33 Republicans broke lines to back it. So watch who in the hell you're putting into office, because they don't read the damn bills. Apparently they're not smart enough to. They're getting paid to do. That's why you send them to Congress to look out for your benefits and look out for your welfare, and these people don't even read the bills. Yes, the Reauthorization Act includes everything in the original act, and includes an expansion. Aha! So it's not the same bill. It prohibits against firearms purchases for spouses or formerly married partners convicted of abuse or under restraining order, to include dating partners who were never legally married. Save the Internet Act. Anyway, all this stuff, dead on arrival, people. Let's keep it that way. And stay on your toes. Please stay on your toes. I mean, these people, these so-called progressives, they are descendants from the FDR era. And they're not trying to help Americans, they're trying to chain them. Chain them, make them slaves at the government's whim. And that, we are free people. And we're going to stay free. And we're not going to let people like Pelosi take our freedoms away. We have the right to be left alone. They can't understand that. They think they know better. They don't want you to, like, fly away from the nest. You're a big boy now, or a big girl. You can make your own decisions. You don't need Pelosi and that kind to help you out. You have rights. You are free. Remember, free. Leave us alone. Thanks for watching.